Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at See You Again by Wiz Khalifa, and it sounds like this. What's up everybody, my name is Simone from Your Guitar Academy. Welcome to today's See You Again guitar lesson. In today's guitar lesson we'll be looking at the chords and two different techniques to play this song by Wiz Khalifa on guitar. Just before we get started guys, don't forget that you can subscribe to this channel to see more and more of our guitar lessons, and also click the link in the description here below to find out more about this lesson and find out the full write-up of this lesson for free, finding chord diagrams, structure, techniques and everything you need to follow this video lesson even better. Alright guys, so it's time to get started. Let's start saying that today we are playing the acoustic guitar in standard tuning with capo 3. So you will need a capo to place on your 3rd fret. So for this song we are going to need only 4 chords. The chords that we need are E minor, G, C, and then back to G again. So 3 different chords, but the progression has 4 chords in total. Alright, now if you guys are not sure about these chords, once more you can click the link in the description here below. You will find the full write-up of this lesson for free, meaning that you will see chord diagrams to follow these chords that I'm going to show you right now to play this song. Alright guys, so there are 2 different ways to play this song. This song is mainly played on the piano, so to play that on the guitar, we can choose to play either finger picking or using a pick. Now, let's start with a finger picking approach. Now, to play finger picking, the best thing that we can do on these chords is to play them with 4 fingers, so using thumb for the bass, and then index, middle, and ring finger. Now, the thumb will move between the chords accordingly to the root note of those chords. For example, on the E minor, your thumb will be on the E string. When you play the G, again, your thumb will be on the E string because the G note, the root note, is here on the E string. When you move to C, your thumb will move on the A string because the C note, the root note, is on the A string, and then back to the E string for the G. The fingers index, middle, and ring will play all the time, will never move, will play all the time the D, G, and B strings. So you play bass accordingly with the root note of the chord, and then you will have index on the D string, middle on the G string, ring finger on the B string. So for example, if you play an E minor, I'll come even closer to see it even better, you will play thumb here, these 3 fingers all together. That's the sound of your E minor at the beginning of the song. So you will play this, and then you will do a percussion with your thumb. So you're going to do a slap percussion, this kind of movement from outside to the inside, a sort of rotation on the string to create this percussive sound, like 1 and 2. This is the way you do that. Now, let's see how long these chords are and when we change the chords. We basically play the E minor on the downbeat number 1 when we say 1. Then we have end 2. On the beat number 2, we play the first percussion. On the end number 2, on the upbeat number 2, when we say end after 2, we're going to play the G. So the G changes on the second half of the second beat, like 1 and 2 and. That's where we change to the G. Then we don't play anything on the beat number 3. On the beat number 4, we're going to have another percussion. So as always, the percussive beats are always the 2nd and the 4th of the bar. So the first bar complete is going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then you move to C and you do the same between C and G. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Exactly the same percussions, exactly the same change. 1 on the C, 2, and the number 2 is where you go back to G once more. And then you loop for the entire song these 2 bars. E minor, G, C, G, counting the beats. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. You might have noticed that I don't play a full G. This is because we are never playing the A string, we are never playing the E string, so I actually only need these 2 fingers for the G. The 2nd finger on top on the 3rd fret E string, and the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. This is my G, and I just play those strings that we saw before, the E on top and then D, G, B. Alright, so once more, if I play nice and slowly these chord changes, they are going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 And you can go for the entire song like this. Only during the chorus, after the fourth time that you do this, there's going to be the see you again part of the lyrics, and that is where you repeat an extra bar of C and G. Just this, exactly in the same way you played it previously. So if you play the entire chorus, it's going to be first time, second time, same. Third, fourth, extra C and G, and then the verse or the bridge or whatever it comes after goes. So basically it's always going to be the same progression for the entire song, with this tiny variation at the end of the chorus where you repeat C and G one extra time. Alright, now let's have a look if we don't want to play finger picking, or maybe you're not familiar with this finger picking approach. Then you can either do the same with the thumb only, which is more similar playing with the pick, because you're going to do one strum, percussion, one strum, percussion. And it's going to be exactly the same, so you can just count in the same way and use only one downstroke with the thumb every time that previously we were playing 4 strings. So it's going to be with this thumb technique. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 And this is exactly the same that you can do if you want to play with the pick, playing only one downstroke every time the chord changes. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Downstroke, percussion, downstroke. Downstroke, percussion, downstroke. Alright, this is the mood. It doesn't matter if you use the pick, if you use your thumb, or if you use your finger picking technique with four different fingers. Alright, now this is pretty much what you can do for the first part of the song when the dynamic is a little bit lower. Then later on there is an instrumental part and a second chorus where the dynamic goes a bit louder. In that case, my advice is to actually play a sort of strumming pattern that, again, you can play either with the pick or with the thumb, which is basically let's see how to play this. So on the E minor you play down, down, up, then you go for your percussion on the beat number 2, and on the G you play down, down, down. So you don't play the percussion anymore on the chord G. So you're going to play down, down, up, percussion, down, down, down. Let's repeat the same on C and G. Down, down, up, percussion, down, 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 up. Okay, the dynamic is higher, there is a louder dynamic, and obviously this is a little bit more groovy. You can do the same with the pick if you are more, if you like better the sound of the pick on the strumming. So it's going to be like down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. Remember that you have only one percussion rather than 2. So the percussion is only on the beat number 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is what happens through the entire song. So these are the 2 main techniques that you can use, either pick for the strumming or finger picking, or the finger picking can be done either with 4 fingers or just with the thumb. Now, this is if you want to play something that sounds good on top of the recording. If you are more into a finger style or finger picking arrangement, then we can go back to our technique with thumb on the root note on the bass, and then 3 fingers on D, G and B strings, and play some embellishments here and there. For example, I was playing something similar during the intro. So you can basically play something like... Now, the chords that I'm playing and the timing is the same, but I play some embellishments, like for example on the C, rather than playing the normal C major, I play the same strings, but without the first finger in place from the beginning on the C. I just add the first finger later, and it sounds like it's a hammer on between the open B and the index on the first fret of the B string, like... Okay, and it creates a sort of melody into my chord changes, into my groove. So on the C, this is the embellishment that you could do. When you go back to G, something very nice that I like to do sometimes, I was saying before I'm using only 2 fingers, I sometimes use my first finger, I add my first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. The note is an A, so for that reason we call this G add 9, because A is the 9th degree from G, and it sounds like very nice. It's a very nice extension. Other things that you might try, then you can experiment your own variations, but something that I feel to suggest is when you play the E minor, you don't always play the 4 strings at the same time. You play a quick arpeggio of 4 single sounds, like, right, like, rather than doing 1 and 2, you play 1 E and A 2, 4 16ths basically. This is with all of the variations because it's E minor 4 note, G for example with the 9th, C playing the hammer on with the first finger, percussion G, 9th again. The 9th is played only with the index on the G string, right? Because it's a single note that we are adding. Now, these are my variations, or some of my variations. I did probably even others during the intro, but feel free to experiment. Whatever it sounds nice to you when you play around these chords with little extensions or playing single notes rather than always the chord all together, it's gonna add something special here and there, something spicy to create even more groove and more inner melodies to your arrangement. All right. Okay, guys, so it's that's all for today's lesson. If you enjoyed this lesson, please smash that like button and consider subscribing to watch more and more of these video lessons. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you next time.